Here we go. Thank you, Ali, for letting me know. Turns 3 and 7. Last season we had Spicer and Big Al's brother going into the second sector side by side. You can see them there in the wet. Keeping it nice and clean, but here we go. A little bit of a squeeze there from Spicer. They managed to get through there reasonably cleanly, but you can see there Big Al's brother hanging around the outside. Manages to squeeze the Williams out onto the curb, but gets the move done on the straight heading into the chicane Nord. And a great move there by the Red Bull driver. We had in Season 5, turns 7 to 9, Psycho, Zudix, Ibis, Nut, and Bully all coming out of Sector 1, going down the straight towards the chicane. You can see them almost 4 wide there on the straight, a little bit of wind going flying. They head into the chicane, keeping it relatively clean so far. And you see the Husses there going side by side. It's great close racing there in Tier 2. Back in Season 5, turns 8 and 9, we had Psycho and Papa Fresh going down the same straight into the chicane. And Papa Fresh is turning a little bit early. The Mercedes getting spun around. You can see there's Sambesi nearly colliding into the Mercedes. Did well to avoid a larger incident there, just as the safety car was brought out for another incident. And we had Skins and Keeper, turns 12 to 15, again in the wet, keeping it nice and clean side by side. Great respect there from the Mercedes and the Renault driver, giving each other a lot of racing room. And then able to get the move done. It's the Red Bull, sorry, the Mercedes pulls back in front of the Renault. And Season 5 as well, lovely move by Trin into the final corner down the inside of Pondon. Gets the move done nice and easily. Second last of the lap of the race as well. And you got it done nicely. Alrighty, just jumping into the broadcast. Apologise if it's a little bit stuttery. Hopefully it sorts itself out a little bit, but I'll keep an eye on it. With me tonight in the commentary box is Seb, our Tier 2 regular. How you doing? Pretty good, thank you. Alrighty.
Soon, so just bear with us. And I just want to say, because Mikau's in the chat, happy birthday to Mikau. That's the reason he is not commentating with us. And I'm just gonna, sing a little song for him. So,
give me 1 second.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mikau. Happy birthday to you. So, Mikau, there you go. Hip hip hooray. Alright. So everyone go show your love to Mikau. He is obviously not with us because celebrating his birthday. He will be tuning in, so drop him a little message because he's a valued member of this community. But at the moment, looking at skins. Streamer's buggy, we can still have a little bit of a look. Just bear with us while Gus tries to sort it out.
Bad. Alright guys, give me 2 seconds. Get the frames sorted.
Might want to get the ratio right. There we go. That's good.
Alright guys, let us know. Hopefully that sorted it. let's jump aboard with Nut, who's currently the only driver on a flying lap at the moment. No driver coming through turn 2. Seb won't take it away.
Taking away indeed. Heading into turn 3. Very easy corner to invalidate, as we see straight away. So,
alright. Let's jump aboard with Anarchy, who's just behind him, going through the same section as Seb.
Alright, Anarchy now, turn 5, very hard to get the power down through on that curb, and through 6, another very difficult traction zone. Very difficult section to find, you know, traction, but you can find a lot of time on your fellow competitors if you get it right. DRS open down this back straight, the one of 2 DRS zones, heading into turn 8. Get on that curb a little bit, take a lot of inside curb for 8 and a little bit of inside curb for turn 9. Traction over that outside curb on the left hand side, and now it's just a straight line on the run down to turn 10. We can see a lot of fighting through this sector 3 section. The start of sector 3, we saw it a lot in tier 1. On the moves by drivers like the likes of Potsy, and we had a lot of looks down the inside of competitors like Fever, Big Al, proven race winners, and put up a good little bout into turn 12, late apex, fall down, sit on that outside curb and keep it as tight as possible for the entry into 14. Now keep this tight as well because you want to be able to open up 15 for sort of good traction. Avoid that inside curb, get a bit over that outside curb, up to the gears, DRS open, and just hold your breath. You can't in a second because you've just crossed the line and finished the lap in France.
Thank you very much for that, Seb. Jump on board now with Kalios. Last driver going through sector 1, about to start in sector 2 as well. Drivers, only a couple of drivers on track at the moment. Looks like most of them finished their first runs. Looks like sector 1 is just a slow. I assume that's a Williams. I can never tell from the track map which car is which. Very much the same.
Yeah, I think it's an Alpine. It's just a bit lighter.
There's no difference.
Well, Kalios not using a lot of ERS at the moment. That might have been a mistake, but he still, I believe, set a purple sector 1. Set a purple sector 2 though. This is a banker. He may be going on to a medium run later in the session here. And well, just a note on Kalios. He does sit in P16 in the championship. He missed last round in Canada, or Wet Canada, but he's a fast driver. Well, he can get in his way sometimes.
Like
he does have the pace.
Yeah. So straight into the pits. Bit of an interesting one. Thanks, Bonnet. I've turned myself up a little bit. Move the mic closer. Let me know how we go. Jump on board with Anacat, and he's invalidated as well. Well,
we are just seeing some drivers come out now. We have, weather update. Rain in 10 minutes, and 50% chance of rain, courtesy of Bandcamp and T-Map.
Thank you very much for letting us know. So most of the drivers coming out for their second run in quali now. You can see them all there on their outlaps. Quick look and see who's going to be closest. We've got a Ferrari about to start a lap. Fully jump aboard with him. We're sitting in P14 at the moment, 29.9.
Yeah, he's got that banker out the way, Gus, but he's had an interesting season because you see his teammate, Paul Pepsi, all the way in first, so he wins through his name retirement and a podium. But Bully has only finished 2 races with the P11 in Bahrain and the P17 last time out in Canada. He's had 3 retirements in between that, so he needs to pull his weight. He hasn't validated his lap time, so
yeah, it looks like
for him.
That's turn 3, isn't it? He's seen a few people so far be a bit too aggressive on that inside curb there. You do have to take a lot of it to find that lap time, but you get a little bit too greedy, and it's very easy to validate, and in the race you can pick up a lot of warnings there as well. So we'll just jump aboard with the Williams of the Alpine of Mr. Spicer as he nearly loses it through the chicane. And it looks like his teammate no, that's Williams.
No, that's actually Williams.
I'm just going to let you do a little bit of talking for a while, Seb. Let's just get my glasses.
Well, speaking of turn 3, it is a very interesting corner because you have that complex of turn 4 and turn 5 right after it, and it's very deceiving because you think you need to slow down a lot for it, you need to turn in that early, but the car tends to hook up very well into that corner. So, as we can see already, it tends to catch a lot of drivers off guard. We're on board with Apollo Pepsi right now. He's winding his way through the first sector, just completed. He set a purple first sector, up 2.5 tenths. He'll find himself over that inside curve of turn 6 and he'll open this DRS. Just trying to catch his breath now. In a very difficult section of turn 8 and 9. Avoid this outside curb on entry. Just swing over a bit more to the right. As you brake, just hovel over these curbs. Unwind the car, get the throttle down, up through the gears, get over as left as possible. As he climbs up the hill. It doesn't look like there's a lot of elevation here at the Castellet, but nevertheless, still have it. Still affects the drivers. He slings his way through turn 11, the very long double apex turn 11. Through turn 12, get the car over to the right, brake just before that little asphalt part on the right hand side. Unwind the car once again, get it up through the gears, through 13, into 14, brake over that curb. It's a good lap. He's on form at the moment. He's back on the winners table as well last week, a dominating win in the rain in Canada. Like I said before, he is well and truly keeping Ferrari afloat at the top of the championship. 27.9 is the time, Gus, and hopefully you got your glasses by now.
I certainly do, and I can see he's nearly 6 tenths quicker than King J there in P2, so great lap there from Pepsi. And yeah, he's just had an amazing season since coming down to Tier 2, so really glad that he's finding a bit of form. And
tell you what, we've had some questions about the weather. It is dry. There's a chance of rain at the end of this qualifying session in case you missed what was said before in the chat. But France seems to be a track that, in practice sessions at least, had a very good chance of raining, and we haven't had a single drop in any of our sessions so far. Tier 3, Tier 1, and that's the yellow flag in Sector 2. That's Kalios around. But yeah, Wingman goes fast. He's just picking out Apollo Pepsi by 0.02 of a second, and Wingman, a driver who has a lot of pace to his name, had some good results, P6 to P1, and climbing to Azerbaijan and P2 in Canada. He'll be looking for that top spot. He's been very fast, and I think he'd almost be matching Pepsi's pace, to be honest, Gus. Wonderful fact that he missed Bahrain and, you know, didn't crash out at Azerbaijan. He could be very much in that bout for P1 in the championship.
Absolutely. Another driver who's doing particularly well this season as well is Quantum Effect. He's currently down in P15 though, so I'm not sure if he's just not yet got a quick lap together. Can be a very challenging circuit. Sometimes pays to just get any time on the board on your first lap and just build up to it. But I would expect to see the other Red Bull driver a little bit further up. As you said, Wingman setting the quickest time of the session by just under 0.02 of a second.
Tell you what,
expect him to be up there as well.
Looks like Quantum is getting a bit of a tow from Wingman, although I don't think it's really paying off. I'm not sure what's happening there, but it looked like he was. But
his fuel indicator light's on, so I think this might be an in-lap for Quantum. Yeah, really not where I'd expect him to be at the moment.
Well,
jump on board with Mr. Spicer. I think he's on a lap, because he's one of the few people who's on a lap at the moment. Currently down at P11, 128.895. He's been another one of the standout performances this season. He's able to pop a little bit higher up the grid. He's about a second off pole. It's a lot of time to find, but it's such a long track as well that there's plenty of spots that you can pick it up. He has had a terrible chicane though. Lost the rear mid-corner, and as he caught it, ended up on top of the curb and invalidated. So put the mocker on him, I think, and he'll be coming into the pits for a quick change of tyres. There's only 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in qualifying, so have a quick turnaround if he's going to get back out there.
Yeah, he's got to go quick, as you said, because he went out at a very odd time, so he wasn't going to get optimal track conditions. As we start to see a lot of these drivers coming out of the pits, so Apollo Pepsi is out, along with other drivers like Combat Rat, Saxa, Keeper, Nut, Anarchy, Nemo.
Interestingly, Andercat and Kalios yet to set times. They're both 19th and 20th. Andercat on a flying lap at the moment. It's looking pretty tidy so far. But they've basically put a lot of pressure on themselves now, and they have to do one-shot quali.
Yeah, having to do one-shot quali indeed. Andercat has had some good races as well. P2 in the championship, but right now, it's looking a bit sheepish for France at the moment. He's got to really find some time in these last two corners, washing it out a bit wide, but he's pulling the car back in. He's slowed it down enough just to get the car to wind up to turn 15, the final corner, get the traction down well enough. He's used that outside curb. Now what's it going to be? Run down to the line. It's a 28-1. He finds himself in P3. That should be good enough. For now, King J is 4/10 off that time, so I don't think he would improve that much, but you never know with these guys, but he will come back in the pits. That should be his qualifying over, considering it is a soft hard or medium hard strategy for this France race.
Yeah, he's jumping on board with Anarchy now, who was just in front of him. He's down at 19th, slightly up on his time, but not by enough to really gain any more positions in the grid. The yellow flag in sector 3 looks like one of the AFR is backing up to find some space. Most of our drivers coming out onto the track now to get their final runs in. Looks like that rain's going to stay away.
See a lot of drivers just coming out right now, and that might affect a couple of drivers like Pepsi, who just started his lap. I don't think it has. I think he's still running strong.
Yeah, that pit exit feeds you right out onto the racing line, so you've got to be paying attention or you'll impede the start of someone's quali run.
I'll tell you one worse is you're right over the line on a hot lap to make sure you're not driving as too much track that you don't need to. So you tend to sit over those white lines with two of your wheels, and sometimes they can catch the drivers in the pits off guard. Here comes Anarchy though. He set a 30.8 earlier on. He's got time to improve. He only jumped into P18, so that would be his qualifying over. Judged not by 0.2 of a second, but all the times are starting to fall down now. We can see a big cluster of cars in sector 2 going through sector 3 right now. We're getting ready to do hot laps. All right now, eyes on Skins. Skins in P6 at the moment. He has the same time as Nemo. However, I believe Nemo says time just in front. He's only just improved through the second sector. There's Apollo Pepsi on the inside. He's in P2 in the current standings. Sorry, in the current leaderboard in this session, I should say. Skins winding through the final zone. He's gone a bit wide, and that's an invalidation. Cat is out of the session. He's retired in the pits. But Skins is qualifying. He'll be just about over right now. Can't tell if he's got time to come back. No, he doesn't. He will call it in. He's got no fuel left, so...
Oh, Keeper has had a collision with Anarchy, his teammate.
Teammates,
the two Mercedes have come together. See one of them still on the straight, going very, very slowly. And I think Keeper copped a 5-place grid penalty for that.
He did, so barring Kalios does not improve, he'll still be starting P20 regardless. See Combat Rat jump into P3, Gus, and his times are well and truly starting to drop.
Yeah, and Apollo Pepsi invalidated his final run, so he's out of qualifying. Wingman's on another flyer as well, by the looks of it, just coming into the chicane. We'll stay with Accelerate though, he's almost finished his lap.
Accelerate now, rounding final corners of this lap. An amazing exit. Luckily enough, King J's caught a lap. He's going to pit. He doesn't think he can improve. He does Accelerate. He improves into 5th position. It looks like we have Bandcamp next across the line. The Dragon himself in P12. I don't think he's going to improve on his time though. He's down by 0.2 by the looks of it. Coming across under these signs, crossing the line. He does not improve. He is 0.4 down. All eyes on Wingman right now, and Quantum Effect. Quantum Effect going across the line in front of Wingman. He jumped up into P5. Here comes Wingman though. He's up on their time. He extends. He goes into the 7s. 27.7. Kalios jumped into P11. Time not fast enough to get himself into the top 10, but I don't think he'll be too upset by that. I think that will be our grid. Everyone coming into the pits. Mr. Spicer as well. Looks like our grid is set, Gus, for what should be an interesting race.
Absolutely, yeah, it's great to see Quantum Effect really jump up the leaderboard there at the end. He was sitting well outside the top 10, and he really got it together in that final run. Just 0.09 of a second behind Combat Rat there for P3. And a pretty tight grid again, so just 1 second covers everyone from P1 down to P14. And yeah, the whole grid covered by about 3 seconds. We've got a couple of outliers there at the back. Looks like Nut and Anarchy not quite getting their laps together at the end. 1.4 seconds covers from 1st down to 18th, so it's pretty tight in this tier 2 grid.
pretty tight-knit group, and what we saw in Tier 1 could replicate here in Tier 2. We also saw a bit of DRS train in Tier 3 as well, didn't we, for that battle for P2 involving 4 cars, but it's Wingman on pole, followed by Pepsi. I know Pepsi won't be too happy with that, but nonetheless, I don't think France has been a great track for him. On Barat with a surprise P3, in my opinion. He's sits P4 in the championship, but he doesn't have that pace, but he does have that consistency like Band does, who sits in P5 in the championship. But nevertheless, we have our grid. That's Wingman on pole once again. Anocat in P4. He didn't get that last run in. He'll be disappointed with that. Quantum Effect with a great lap to find himself into P5. Decelerate in P6 in that Alfa Romeo with King J in P7. He will start in that 4th row with Nemo alongside him, just separated by 500ths of a second. Skins with the same time as Nemo, but I don't think he got that time in at the same time. Then Psycho ends out the top 10. Kalios, Mika, Vasa, Bandcamp, Mrs. Slicer, Saxa, Bully, Keeper, Nut, and Anarchy ran off our grid with, I believe, Keeper and Anarchy, the two Mercedes, starting at the back due to 5-place grid penalties for hitting each other.
They both got 5-place grid penalties, so I'll be interested to see what order they are in, because yeah, I think Keeper out-qualified Anarchy. But
yeah, that is
5
correct.
places will put him to the back of the grid, so it'd be interesting to see how the game figures out which one of them should be in front of the other. But two Mercedes side by side in the back row of the grid after they've collided with each other in qualifying, it's only going to lead to more fireworks, I think, during the race.
I agree with that. Well, I think at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter for Keeper because he's had so many good starts throughout the season. Spain comes to mind, Azerbaijan as well, but he did retire in Azerbaijan, and Monaco he didn't really have a good race. But Spain, like I said before, he got into P2 in Canada. He got P6, and he had a good start as well there. He just keeps out of trouble sometimes, and he finds a way, although his qualifying's not great, he finds a way into some good point-scoring positions. Looks like the timer is starting to count down now, and drivers are setting up their fuel loads, their tyre strategy, if they're outside the top 10, of course. Have to start on the tyres you qualified on, which for the top 10 will all be softs. But the interesting thing for the top 10, Gus, is that tyre strategy. Will they go soft hard, try and do a bit of tyre saving? Or will they maybe try and risk it on that 2-slot strategy, which is a lot slower, but there's a very low chance of safety car, actually, because 25% chance of VSC through our 4 seasons of Tier 2 racing here. 1 VSC in Season 6 last season, and 1 safety car in Season 5 in the past 4 races here in Tier 2. So not a lot of, chances to lose time in pit stops. So that 1 stop looks a lot more enticing, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, the softs, especially these guys in the top 10 who would have qualified on them, they're going to really start to fade off. So the soft hard strat might not be viable for some of the guys who are a bit harder on the tyres, like you say. So they're going to be hoping for a bit of a safety car just to try and stretch those out a little bit. But yeah, those medium hard runners, particularly Kalios and Mika, I reckon they're going to be very well positioned towards the back end of this race, because they will be on fresher hard tyres once they get to the halfway mark. So we saw the likes of Panda storming through the field in Tier 1. Unfortunately got caught up in a little bit of an incident towards the end, but he was showing so much pace coming through the field on those guys who started on the softs. So I think that's really going to pay dividends towards the latter stages of this race.
Not the only one. Draw our attention back to Tier 3. Lick, he had that medium hard strategy, started outside the top 10. He found himself on the hards with 14 laps to go, and he had a good charge up the field, albeit he did have a time penalty, so that did affect his finishing position, but nevertheless, had a good charge, and that's what we can see. Now, the question is for those soft drivers, especially as the race goes on, how much tyre saving do they do? Because France is a track, like we saw, and I said before, we saw those DRS trains that reads a lot of DRS trains, reads a lot of battling, and that battling can lead to a lot of damaged tyres, and extra damage to the tyres can, not pay off too well down the line. So it'll be very interesting to see how that develops as this race, as our evening goes along. If you're just tuning in, welcome. 27 laps of France to go. This is the final race of the evening here at Tier 2. France, Season 7 of AFR. And we're just about to get underway.
And interesting, the game has decided that Keeper is the #1 Mercedes driver, starting ahead of Anarchy after those penalties. So I assume it applied Keeper's penalty first and then Anarchy's second, which is why he's behind after their collision in qualifying. Drivers forming up on the grid now, and Seb, I'd like you to do the honours.
Thank you, Gus. Well, looks like the game's got this right. Hopefully it can stay pretty much the same the whole way. No issues, hopefully. Yeah, the clouds loom over these France roads. As the drivers get set, the lights are starting to come on. 3, 4, 5 red lights. The lights are out and it's time for racing. Looks like Combo Racing has a pretty good start. Same with the Wingman. Pepsi right behind him as well. Quantum Effect behind, getting all over the back of these two. But Pepsi pulls out to the outside of Wingman. He's looking for a move. He won't get it, but it looks pretty cutthroat so far. All clean so far. We see a Haas going wide. That looks like Kalios as they all go line astern through this first sector. Wingman leads by Pepsi, Combo Rat and Ocat. Quantum Effect decelerate as we see Williams going off. That looks like it's Skin getting pushed wide by Nemo. And it looks pretty clean so far, guys. Anything to note so far?
No, we did have a couple of cars going 3 wide at different points there. They almost just sorted out by the end of it. And it looks like we've got the Red Bull at the front. Wingman having a very good start. Polo Pepsi having a bit of a look into the chicane, but decides better of it. Red Bull squeezing him up onto the curb, holds the position. But these guys have broken away a little bit from the rest of the field as we see down the order. Keeper's made up to 17th place. He's got past both Mr. Spicer and Nut off the start.
That's what I mean. Keeper gets good starts. He doesn't need to worry too much about good position because he just finds positions. Anyway, if you look down this field, it looks all pretty close so far. No real moves happening. Bandcamp though, down the inside of Kalios through turn 10. That's a brave move. You don't normally see that. You don't normally see them go side by side, but nevertheless, Band slots his way up through the field. Faster getting down the inside of Kalios. Kalios might have damage here, and I think he does. He's dropping like a fly at the moment. Down 15, down 16. Bully down the inside of him. And he's just gone. He's got wing damage to the left-hand side of the car. He will have to pit surely, and that might be his race rolling.
Yeah, just having a look at him. He is on the right-hand side of the track, and he peels off into the pits. So, the first victim here at this French track.
Meanwhile, looks like Psycho, Nemo, Bandcamp, Mika. Nemo got pushed wide by Psycho, and now he's just fallen victim to Mika and Bandcamp.
Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Pepsi's gone round.
That's Pepsi round.
And can't see any wing damage, but that's turn 1. So I wonder if he's had a little bit of a go at Wingman. He was a couple of tenths back when I had a look, so I don't think he was quite close enough with that DRS to make a move. But he is second last now after that spin.
Second last indeed, and pride would be hurt. You don't normally see cars drop it there, so I think you're right. Wingman might have had a tangle with him, and that's why we saw Pepsi facing the wrong way. He's down the field, he's got some work to do, but we've seen him do this before. If we look up the field, though, Quantum Effect looking around the outside of Anarcha into turn 8. Not going to go for it,
Anarchy's crashed out. He's crashed at the start of the straight. We have a virtual safety car.
We do.
Just going to have a look on board with Kalios, see if we can catch some safety. So it looks like he's lost it on the exit curve of turn 7. 7 or is it 6? And he's ended up in the wall. Kalios just waiting for him to catch up, see if we can see him on the left-hand side of the track. There he is, yep, and he disappears right as we get close there. He was definitely in that spot, so he's lost it on the exit curve, and around here he goes.
So through turn 7. Hard to lose a car there.
Yeah, the exit curve does not really exist there. It's pretty flat, so...
Well, we have seen it. So Pepsi, he's going to bring off again. He has spun there before as we have Green Flag Racing again. Quantum Effect might jump Bandocat here. He has. That's some brilliant racing by Quantum Effect to catch Bandocat off guard. Had a great restart, and now they're going to go side by side down this main straight. It's like they're both using a bit of ERS. Quantum Effect using more than Bandocat. He will take P3. Bandocat caught off guard. He'll fall to P4. Hasn't lost any positions in this race so far, but I think with the loss of Pepsi, net-wise, he's down a bit, but Pepsi is making moves, Gus, and we can see that.
Yeah, just after we called out Keeps an amazing start, he's already in the pits and he's just chucked on a set of medium, so I wonder if he's had a bit of damage there before that virtual safety car. Looks like he's having a long stop, so unfortunate for him. Now, Wingman hasn't had a great virtual safety car restart. He was 2 seconds clear of Wombat when it came out, and he's now within DRS zone. We've got a yellow flag. It looks like the Ferrari of Bully has lost it at the same corner, and he has no front wing. So, same corner that Anarchy DNF'd. The Ferrari, lucky to get away with it, but he's got to try and negotiate the rest of this track with no front wing, and that's a no mean feat. It's a very downforce intensive track.
Downforce intensive track requires a lot of tyres and a lot of faith in the car. Let's see, we've got about 3 DRS trains here, Gus. One for Wingman and Combo Rat. That's not really a train, but we have Quantum Effect down to Psycho and Nika down to Nemo. That would tend to be a trend as this race goes on. Now, obviously, pit stops and tyre strategy will come into play here, and that will tend to shuffle things, but expect these cars to converge onto each other. as we get into the dying stages, but that's still a fair bit away to go. Still 24 laps to go as the fastest lap times tend to come down as we've just had a VSC.
Absolutely. Just having a look at the winners and losers since the start of the race, pretty much everyone in the top 10 has gained quite a few. Bandcamp up 4 places, and Nemo's down 3, Apollo Pussy down 12, and Kalios as well down 7 places. So you can see there's been a couple of big losers here today, but the grid seems to have gained a little bit from their misfortune.
2 to 3 trains turns into 1 as we now have a big DRS train from T1 to T11. Mika's kind of fallen out of that though. I'm not sure he got DRS. No, he did, so he might still be able to hold on. He is on those medium tyres, and Mika's drivers have been relatively consistent so far, but who's not been consistent? That's Skins. He's gone a bit wide through turn 8. And this might open the door, but no, it hasn't. He gets a good enough run through turn 9 just to save himself, but just cuts up our DRS train once again, and it's split into 2 at P7. That's Psycho and Alpha Tauri.
So Mika's been able to close that gap nicely, but Psycho, has dropped 2.5 off King J now. He's going to have a lot of hard work to try and close that gap back down. DRS train in front of him is going to be pulling away, and he's going to be under a lot of pressure from Skins behind as well. And behind him, Vasta and Apollo Pepsi closing in on the train as well, so we could be seeing, like I said, 2 distinct trains forming in this grid.
Well, at this point, the mediums should start to surpass the softs in terms of pace as the softs get a bit more wear into them. They hit around 50% wear at this stage, and the mediums, well, they're just fresh of life. There's a yellow flag in sector 2, that's Bully, I believe. Spun around at turn 9, but haven't seen a lot of overtaking as advertised, but it should be relatively straightforward, to be honest. It's a lot of dragging cars along and just trying to keep things close, decelerate. Closest car to Ando Cat. He's in 310s, he might go for a move here, but he has little ERS to work with. A lot of cars flashing at the moment. Actually, Quantum Effect up ahead, right in front of, right behind Combat Rat and Wingman. He's on less than 10% ERS, so he's really pushing, trying to keep within them. But we're seeing a lot of drivers use their ERS early on, and this can haunt you down the line, albeit a safety car can save you. But we have had our virtual safety car, which is not very often seen around here in France. Skins picks up a time penalty. He went wide through turn 11. So it's going to pick up a warning. That's obviously giving that time penalty. So we're seeing these drivers but maintain focus around here because time penalties can come fast. As Quantum Effect is called into the pits. He's the first to pit, Gus.
Surely that's going to be a 2-stop. 4 laps on the soft tyre is not really going to be able to do a soft hard. So I wonder if he's going soft medium soft or soft medium medium. No, he goes into the hard. Wow. What do you reckon? 21 laps on the hard tyre? You reckon he can do it?
Well, my tyres, I pitted lap 7 and they were 75%. I almost didn't last. As you see Skins and Mika going side by side through turn 1. Skins comes out the beneficiary through turn 2 with their outside line through turn 1. Hold on for now, but you can tell those soft tyres are gone. I just don't think that's the right play, Gus. Hard's right now. They're surely not going to last unless he gets at least a safety car.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird call because I had that VSC, which means that the softs would have been able to extend maybe half a lap to a lap longer than usual. So, yeah, it's just a very unusual decision. It wasn't like he was. Yeah, it's just odd. Anyway, we've seen Mika and Skins going side by side into the chicane nod. And Mika gets it done. Those medium tyres looking like they're starting to become the quicker tyre than the soft at the moment. Jumping a bit further back, and Spicer and Nut. Oh, there's a big collision, and Nut has just crashed in the back of the Alpine. And Mr. Spicer, I'm not sure, that may have caused some diffuser damage there. I just jumped on board, like I saw a lap before, as Nut gets a 10-second penalty for cutting the track. That Nut had managed to get past the Alpine. It looks like the Alpine got past him again. And yeah, Nut just completely missing his braking marker there and completely destroying the Alpine. I hope he hasn't got permanent damage from that.
A lot of drivers pitting right now. We can see a lot of drivers coming in the pits. Both Williams are coming in the pits. So as we saw Skins drop down the order a lot, he was getting overtaken by Bandcamp as we saw that little exchange down the field at turn 9. But interesting choices right now. Seems like Quantum Effect's pit has brought on a lot of change right now, and a lot of cars are pitting. See how this turns out. We still have Psycho out on the track. He'll stay up full lap 7, so you can make it to the end on hards from lap 6. It's just very difficult to do. So I think these guys have to bet on a safety car if they want these hard tyres to last, Gus.
So Williams did get held up a little bit. Skins about an extra second or two, so it wasn't too bad, but obviously did get penalised slightly for pitting alongside his teammate.
And Quantum has dropped Endocat, so he's jumped him, and that's by a good 1.5 seconds. So Endocat might have been held. It might have been the fact that the undercut around here is very strong.
Yeah, we saw in tier 1, we saw quite a big undercut there. I think it was Feed. I can't remember. So whoever fit first did manage to get clear, and then the person who fit second ended up going into traffic. So yeah, very powerful this undercut here. We've got an Alpine around. No, it's Williams and Skins at the chicane. Also, those cold hard tyres just not quite warmed up yet, not offering any grip. To see Psycho and Nemo peeling off into the pits now. So Mika has inherited the lead, and he is the lead car on the medium tyres. So keep an eye on his strategy. Bandcamp not that far behind him as well. So within a second, he'll be getting DRS now.
Well, Mika and Ben both very strong drivers when it comes to race pace and consistency. They find themselves 1 and 2, although not provisionally. They still have a pit stop to go, but they're in a very good position considering of how early these hard runners have pitted. Wingman is in our provisional lead at the moment. He's 11 seconds off of Saxa in P4 with Conifect right behind. He's getting dragged along by this DRS that Wingman is providing. But so far, seems like we'll have a bit of a cool period at the moment with all that pit stop phase and the jumbling up of the order. We see an exchange with Pepsi. He's trying to find his way up the field. He gets past King J through turn 3 into turn 4. We'll be looking at Psycho right now, who's just pitted. He's coming onto the hards, but Pepsi is the superior driver in terms of pace.
And he'll have those hards nice and warm as well, so he'll be getting extra grip compared to Psycho at the moment.
Look at that straight line speed. He used that bit of ERS, but he has that DRS, but Psycho just has nothing. He can't fight that. He'll let him get through into the corner. Turn 8, turn 9, Pepsi takes P10, and that's his. But Combat Rat and Endocat up ahead, they're getting pretty close. They might even jostle through turn 11. Combat Rat having a look around the outside. He has to check up behind Endocat though. So they'll hold P7 and P8 for now. Right now, looks like we're starting to get a bit of drivers getting a bit angsty, looking for a bit of moves.
Yeah, it won't be too much longer either before the hards start to become faster than the medium runners at the front of the grid, but by that point, they'll be looking to come in and stuff on some fresh tyres as well, so evenly balanced at the moment. A bit hard to tell who's really on top of this stage, but Wingman doing an exceptional job at the moment. Currently sitting in P5 with his teammate just a second behind him, so great race here by Red Bull so far.
I think my timing tower
it's gone
to
me as well. I think it's just sorted itself again.
That's nice. Well, I was just about to say, Wingman, he's gained on Saxa by about a second, and he has dropped his teammate as well, so doing some good things in that Red Bull. He's showing his strong pace that he showed in Baku, in Monaco, but never mind that, all eyes on Combat Rat. Gets DRS, like Pepsi had last lap, and he's just going to soar past Endocat around the outside into turn 8, as easy as you like. He's been eyeing that move for a while, and he'll look to try and get onto the back of these two Red Bull teammates.
Yeah, Endocat trying to get a better exit compared to Combat, but Combat just absolutely flying at the moment. He's got those tyres in a nice zone. Endocat might just have to settle for P8 at the moment. Spend a couple of laps to save the ERS and see if we can find an opportunity down the track. We're seeing Nuts might be having a little bit of an issue, or is that just the timing screen going cactus again?
I think it's the timing screen.
Yeah, I think
Bully with
I think Bully is actually last. I think it's just a bit of desync going on. Just got a yellow flag.
Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi picks up a 3-second time, but there's a yellow flag. I think that might be a car. I think everyone through. That might be Bully, as you mentioned before. That would be the reason for that yellow flag, but clouds still loom over this French circuit here at Paul Ricard. And we have Mika leading. Our timing board still doesn't want to fix itself. This will go on for a bit longer, as we know and love.
Absolutely. T-Mac asking to spectate Pepsi because Kika says he's about to spin. I'm not so sure about that, so we do have yellow flags popping up all over the track at the moment. Getting the feeling that there's a decent car or two in this lobby. That's probably why we see the leaderboards jumping around everywhere. As King J gets moved done on Psycho, heading into the chicane. So we'll see, most of our passes will be happening there. That DRS zone is very, very powerful. So if you don't have it to defend with, you're basically just a sitting duck, especially if someone's on slightly fresher tyres.
That's why DRS trains are so important, aren't they? They just help you stay within a fight, especially the car behind has superior pace.
Combat Rat has gone around. No damage. Oh, he's completely blocking the track, and how did he not get murdered there by Psycho and Nemo as they came through? And it's very, very slow on the inside there as Kalios gets past. Bandcamp is having a bit of a battle with Vasa for P2 at the moment. Mika has bolted by 2.5 seconds, but the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo side by side as they come into the end of Sector 1. Bandcamp running a little bit wide in the apex, trying to squeeze Alfa Romeo up onto the curb as Nemo gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Bandcamp running a little bit wide down the Alfa Romeo, trying to send it down the inside as they go through turns 4 and 5 and through 6 onto the back straight. I wonder if there was some silly buggers playing there trying to get the DRS. We see now the Alfa Romeo has the DRS, Bandcamp does not, and the Alfa Romeo going past quite comfortably. You can see there in the background the Alpha Tauri, I should say, of Saxa has closed in into DRS range as well. And while that's been happening, Mika has pulled out to 3.8 seconds. So that little battle in the first sector costing them both about a second on the Aston Martin out in front.
I think it also brought Sax into play. He was sitting very pretty right there. As you can see, Vasa and Bandcamp are flashing. Bandcamp having a look down the inside on turn 11. You don't really see moves like that, but we tend to see it in this game. F121 tends to do that. Vasa's going for the switchback line on Bandcamp. He's looking around the outside of turn 12. Will he try and hold it? No, Bandcamp, the strong head he has, keeps his car in front. Knows where to put that car to defend, and held on the P2. Looks like he's pitting though. Looks like they're all
the three of them pit. Oh, and the Alpha Tauri nearly running into the back of the Alfa Romeo. Had to go full lock to avoid hitting him. Mika stays out though, so let's keep an eye on that one. I wonder if Bandcamp is going to get the undercut on Mika. Remember, he was about 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds in front as we see. Looks like Mr. Spicer there in the Alpine. No, yes. Yes, I had that right. Mr. Spicer in the Alpine cutting turns 1 and 2. Just to stay out of the way of the race leader.
Well, he may be leading the race, but the provisional race lead goes to Wingman and his teammate Quantum, who are well and truly ahead of the rest of the pack. They're 2.2 seconds ahead of Andocat, the nearest driver to them, and Decelerate is in P5. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1. That might just be a car getting out the way by the looks of it.
I think it's just decent because, yeah, I was on board with Bandcamp coming into that sector and there's absolutely nothing there, so very strange.
Well, Pepsi, he's well within DRS range of Decelerate, who is blinking right about now. He's looking for a run, but he's not using any of that ERS. He might be trying to iron move through turn 10 into turn 11. If he can get a good enough run out of turn 9, which it does look like he does, gets a bit of wheel spin, but he's not using any ERS, so he might be holding off for now. Psycho and King J going to go at it through turn 9. They'll exchange positions. Their battle seems to go on for a while. Looks like it might extend even further than just a while.
Hello Pepsi having a look at Decelerate again through turn 11. Quite able to send it down the inside, but certainly having a very, very good look.
Mika's called into the pits, Gus.
Here we go.
So he has responded.
Let's jump on board with Bandcamp, who's currently in P9, so he's in a very good position here. Where does Mika come out? So Bandcamp went for the undercut pit a lap before Mika, so on those fresher rubber, we'd expect him to just put in a slightly faster lap than Mika's in lap. So let's see where they come out of the pits. I think Mika's well clear. He's 4.5 seconds in front, so it looks like the overcut paying dividends there for the Aston Martin. And I wonder if Bandcamp just not able to get those hards switched on. And that extra lap on the medium tyres for Mika has helped him maintain that gap, in fact increasing it slightly.
Well, we know that Band isn't the most aggressive driver out there. He tends to be very smooth at the wheel, and that's not the best way to drive on hards because they take a while to heat up. Pepsi having another run at decelerate this time. This time he's got enough overspeed to get by down the inside into turn 8 and through turn 9. He'll take up P4. He does have a time penalty to his name, but he won't be caring about what's behind him, but he'll be caring about what's in front of him. He's got Andocat 3.1 seconds up the road, and judging by his pace, he's got a good chance of getting him if Andocat does not get a move on, which, I'll be honest, Andocat is maintaining gap to Wingman and Quantum Effect, although Wingman and Quantum Effect are biting off of a bit of DRS at the moment.
Keeping an eye on these margins at the moment. King J very close to the back of Psycho. Just a couple of tenths in it. It's the closest battle at the moment, but Saxa also getting very close to the back of Vasa for the final points position. Having a look, so Miko currently in P6 is 4.5 seconds behind Decelerate on those brand new hard tyres. Everyone in front of him has been on those hards for at least 6 laps, so he's going to be quite a bit faster than them for the rest of the race, particularly in the last few laps. Especially for who was it? Quantum Effect, who pit that lap before everyone else, as we see Psycho and King J having a look at each other into turn 1, and Sax is just behind, going side by side with Vasa. And they managed to get through without any problems. Oh, as the leaderboard goes cactus again. I think they were able to get it all sorted. Yep, you can see there Vasa just behind Saxa now.
It's always fun looking the leaderboard do some crazy things.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, everyone in the chat for the follows. Just keeping a close eye on the action here. We've got Quantum Effects about half a second behind Wingman at the moment. So Red Bull 1-2. And it looks like Quantum Effect quite happy to let his teammate maintain position. Just managing that ERS. Let's have a look at his teammate. Yeah, well, actually Wingman's got a little bit more in the tank than Quantum Effect does. So I wonder if Quantum just having to use a little bit more energy to stay within DRS range of his teammate.
Well, he's well within DRS range, so this might be about tyre saving and just trying to make sure he's not pushing too hard, and getting the assistance of DRS will help. That Andrecat has well and truly closed the gap on these top two though, with Pepsi honing in as well. Accelerate has dropped off the back of Pepsi. He's out of DRS range, and Pepsi is really on charge as well as Andrecat. They've got a lot of work to do though, considering they are on those hard tyres. That will struggle to get to the end.
I just wonder if Quantum Effect might need to give his teammate the hurry up here, because if Ando does close into DRS range, it's going to leave him very vulnerable, because he does seem quite a bit faster than both the Red Bulls at the moment in the Aston Martin.
That's indeed, but it looks like that gap's kind of stagnating at the moment. No, it's dropping. So Andocat really well and truly getting a move on. He might have heard what I said, Gus, and decided it's time to go. Pepsi's right behind him. Pepsi is going as well. So while Andocat drops the gap to the two Red Bulls in front, Pepsi's dropping the gap to Andocat. So it looks like Pepsi is the fastest car on track right now. Oh, we've been talking about that. King J, I believe, has gone by Psycho sometime in the past lap or so. We have Saxa and Vasa, Kalios and Combat Rat. Combat Rat's just going to stall past Kalios, then into turn 8. Vasa having a look down the inside of Saxa. He's nowhere near close enough though. Gonna move. He could try and facilitate one out of turn 9. No, not good enough traction, so he'll have to wait and bide his time. But both of them are flashing. They are low on ERS, Gus, and I've seen a lot of drivers use a lot of their ERS early on in this race.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is pretty tricky here to recover it. It is possible, but if you're not in DRS, it's very, very difficult, because you will lose that position if you're having to defend from someone who has it. Kalios being on those medium tyres for 13 laps. Remember, he got damage in the opening laps of this race. So you see Mr. Spicer there getting out of the way of the lead lap traffic. And here goes Kalios, as I say. I wonder if he's going to go the mediums to the end from here. 12 laps. He's already, I think he started on the softs. If I'm correct. Getting a weird glitch on my screen, so I might jump off Kalios for now.
I think he started mediums. I think he started that P11 position behind Psycho, so he might have to go into hards here.
Kalios just teleported onto the pit straight for me.
Yep, I got the same thing.
Oh boy, yeah. It's happening.
This lobby is going bonkers, if you couldn't tell by the timing board. But Wingman does lead to Quantum Effect, then Andocat, then Pepsi. That's our top four with Decelerate behind, but he's not close enough to really have any effect on this race. As we look up the field, King J for... Oh, that's just bully. getting out of the way for King J, I should say. But tell you what, Mika hasn't really made
Chaos
those
is
cards last.
underground.
Oh no.
Uh,
I'm
he's
looking over at
underground
my
and
other
driving
screen.
towards the pits underground. It's like Abu Dhabi.
I'm looking at my other screen, and he's still in the pits for me as well.
That's bizarre. Okay, someone clip that and send that to Cody's, please.
Please send that to Cody's.
Anyway,
Oh.
well, on the track map, it shows both Haas's are on the track, so I get the feeling that it's just spectator mode might be glitched out a little bit. I certainly hope that none of the drivers are dealing with a Haas teleporting all over the track.
It still says he's in the pits for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think the leaderboard is Cactus, so let's just hope that sorts itself out. We've got 10 laps to go, and we'll have a bit of a look around. We've got the Ferrari, looks like. Which one is that? There's a bit of lap traffic filtering in between all the cars, so it does look like they're a little bit closer together than the leaderboard indicates, but we keep losing our deltas every couple of seconds, so it's a bit hard to tell how close everyone is to each other, but we'll try and stick with it for now.
Well, Pepsi has closed that gap on Endicat, who's not really making any moves onto those top two, who are starting to run away with this race, but Pepsi is still being a threat. He's gaining on both Endicat and the top two. He's dropped decelerate. Mika's not really making much use of those fresh hards, but he'll come into effect later on down the track. I'd say maybe 4 laps to go, he'd definitely be getting a move on. Down King J and Psycho, their battle still rages on, although King J has mostly pulled away from Psycho. Psycho just about hanging on to the DRS because he band camped just outside the DRS range along with Vasa. That's our top 10 right there. Saxa and Combat Rat trying to get into the top 10, trying to get some points. Combat Rat having a look down the inside of Saxa into turn 11. Won't go. Vasa and lap Bully trying to get out the way of these drivers. Might have just held up Combat Rat.
He's not really letting him through. He's staying on the racing line, the Ferrari driver. And Combat, I don't think he's going to be too happy with that because he's lost a few tenths off the back of Saxa.
Well, he's got that time penalty as well, so every tenth at this point matters because you got 10 laps to go, and you really need every lap to gain that time back. And being now what is 3 tenths off of where he was originally, that's going to hurt a bit. Might need Saxa and Vasa to do a bit of fighting, as that should certainly come to fruition very soon. As you see, Vasa is flashing. Saxa is right there with him. He's not going away anytime soon. I think my timing board is very much gone as we have 2-minute laps coming up, Gus, for me.
Yeah, it kind of stays good for about 30 seconds to a minute and then it comes back again. Do you want to try leaving and rejoining just to see if the timing board sorts itself out?
I would love to try that.
Yeah, I keep getting yellow flags. Ghost cars as Saxa tries to make a move on Vasa. Vasa later on the brakes though, able to hold position. Saxa's going to have to wait till the next time around.
You can tell that outside line is just very superior through turn 8. Helps with turn 9 entry as well.
Absolutely. So this gap between Wingman and Quantum Effect has reduced. It's just less than half a second now. Can't quite tell how far behind. Oh, looks like Apollo Pepsi's got past the Endicat. Not sure when that happened. Looks like Apollo Pepsi has got clear. And he's got quite a run as well, so he has 2 seconds behind Quantum Effect now, about half a second in front of Ando.
Pepsi's got a good chance of muffling up these 2 Red Bulls, doesn't he?
He does have that 3-second penalty though, so while the Red Bulls may, you know, they're probably not going to fight him too hard because they know that he's going to have that penalty post-race, but by the same token, if Pepsi is that much quicker, he may be able to pull out that 3-second lead by the end of the race. We've still got 9 laps to go.
Well, it's almost like he's driving with rage because, you know, he didn't get that last good run in, ended up calling P2 and then had that spin probably down the inside of Wingman, as we think. And he's really lighting up the timing towers.
Oh,
like,
boy.
he is going fast.
Just got booted from the lobby.
That is lovely. Just as I joined as well.
It said that the session was no longer available, so that's it's an interesting one. Thank you, Cody's. Some quality work.
Well, I may have jinxed us at the start of this race when I said I hope we don't have any issues, and it looks like that so far. Well, we've definitely had some issues so far.
Here we go. Okay, I'm back in, and let's see. Hopefully that has resolved some issues. If I could spectate everyone, that would be great. At the moment, everyone is in the pits on my screen. I can't spectate anyone. There we go. Alright, I'm good. Got no deltas, but they should update once we cross the next sector. Looks like we've got a Mercedes in the pit, so I think that's Anarchy there.
Tell you what, Andocat has done the smart thing. He's doing his best to hold on to the back of Pepsi, who is well and truly pulling him along to the back of Conrad. He is within DRS range. It's just a question of whether he did go. We have a safety car though. Don't mind that. We have a safety car.
Oh, interesting.
And this will bring the pack together.
Now,
so the question is, do they pit for softs? And I think they should, Gus. But that's what I think.
Because Andocat was disqualified. I don't know what for. If you can check race director, that'd be great. But he came into the pits, and then he got disqualified. So it wasn't.
He's still going for me.
Yeah, I could see him driving in the pit lane in front of Kalios, but on my leaderboard, he is retired. Still disqualified. Sorry.
That's very interesting. He's in, just an update, Andocat is in P4. He is a second behind Pepsi in these safety car conditions. So Codemasters playing some games with us that they have in the past, I'd say 15 laps.
Okay, so this is safety car, so Kalios is waved past that. But yeah, okay, so that's keeper. So Anarchy definitely was disqualified. But I don't know what for, so let's have a quick look.
Every driver is coming to the pits in the top 4. We can see that. Quantum Effect tried to back up Pepsi. He wanted to make sure he didn't get held up too much in the pits.
Got to be careful with that because you're not actually allowed to back people up when you come into the pits. You have to obey that delta, and it's, yeah, just bad luck if you end up getting held in the double stack.
Well, he will lose about 5 seconds, so...
So, am I correct that Combat Rat is currently in P3?
No, he is in P12 at the moment.
Oh boy. Alright. I might just, put the leaderboard away so you can just provide the updates from here.
Do my best. Excuse us for this, but Codemasters, as I said before, playing games with us.
Now, we did actually see a clip from another league stream. It was somewhat like this, although, albeit they had a lot of lag issues with all the cars teleporting all over the place. But yeah, it's very difficult to keep the commentary going when you don't actually know what's going on and all your information means nothing. But at this stage, it looks like Wingman is leading from Apollo Pepsi.
Oh, Andocat has the penalties next to his own. It's a 5 second he must have spent in the pit lane.
Yeah, I think he did. I did see something like that flash up, and yeah, 5 seconds. Mr. Spicer has a drive-through as well for ignoring his delta, and 3 second penalty to Nemo as well.
So, Quantum Effect getting held in the pits doesn't look like it really matters at the moment, especially with Pepsi's 3 second time penalty, Andocat's penalty we just mentioned as well. Decelerate might be on for a podium here, as well as Mika, so we could be seeing a good haul of points for the Aston Martin crew. When we talk about the Red Bull crew, because they are well and truly in for a good haul of points. Wigman looking like he is the man to beat, albeit Pepsi, as I said a couple of laps ago, has the pace. He's been the fastest on track so far, really gunned down those 2 Red Bulls earlier on. But that 3 second penalty to his name does add questions down the line. We should have at least 1 more lap of safety car running before we get green flag running, which will be, I think, 6 laps of green flag running, if I'm not mistaken.
I might take this opportunity to rejoin because it's showing as lap 0 for me. So, and I've got Combat Rat in P3, so I may just rejoin while we're still under safety car conditions.
Well, I'll keep us updated, but everyone has gone into the pits for soft tyres, barring Nemo, who came in for mediums, and Bully, who stayed out on mediums. So I believe Bully may be lapped in this situation. Yes, he is. He is sitting in P5.
Here we go. So we've got Wigman
back in.
There we go, lap 22 of 27 under safety car. Wigman leads Apollo Pepsi, Andocat, Quantum Effect, Decelerate, Mika, Psycho, King J Banket, and Vasa, with Saxa Combat, Keeper, Skins, Kalios, Nemo, Nuts, Bully, and Mr. Spicer, our remaining drivers. So it looks like, yeah, rejoining has corrected everything on my end, so hopefully we are going to be good to the rest of the race, which will be 5 laps after this one. Hopefully it'll be a green flag as well.
Hopefully we have green flag racing to the end. 5 laps, it's a 5-lap sprint to the end. Everyone, as I said before, just about on equal peggings. Kalios keeper, 1 lap old softer tyres than everyone else, but they did pit under the safety car. Nemo and Bull were the only 2 drivers on those medium tyres, and they're down the field. So Nemo, he will be one to look at how he goes, how far he drops off the field. Bully is indeed lapped, and he's in P5 in this queue. Not P5 in the race, obviously. That's how it goes to decelerate in the Alfa Romeo, who, tell you what, has a quiet but good race. He's hit P10 in the championship with a P5 last time around in Canada. But I haven't heard much from him, but he's done a good job just to keep that car clean, and going to get some good points for the Alfa Romeo crew.
So Paulo Pepsi's really been hampered by the safety car. He's bunched everyone up, and with that 3-second penalty, he may not get a podium here. Ricard obviously has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit, so he's going to be out of contention as well. So we're looking at Red Bull 1-2 potentially, and Decelerate as well jumping on the podium if things finish the way that they are now.
Mika could even be in for contention, although, as I stated earlier on, he didn't really make much use of those fresher hards and the guys in front. Didn't really gain, so I'm not sure how he'll go on these softs. But safety car is in this lap. Wingman will get us underway for green flag racing. We will have 5 laps of green flag racing. 2 of them will not have DRS, and the final 3 will. See these cars weaving, trying to get some heat in the tyres. When will Wingman go? He's waiting. The car is in the pits. Wingman is going. He's gone. He's caught Pepsi napping. That's a pretty good restart if you ask me. Pepsi just cutting the inside of turn 14, just trying to keep up. But 8/10 is a pretty good start to, his final 5 laps, and he needs that buffer. If Pepsi does have that pace that we've seen, then there's a chance that he will be able to hold on easily for that P1. Green flag racing now, and Dre's drivers can overtake each other once again. Van having a look at King J, but not anything sufficing of it. Down the field looks all pretty clean. Combat Rat getting close to Saxa. Trying to push him through turn 2, but won't get anything from that, and it seems pretty line of turn so far, guys.
Yeah, Bully doing a great job as well. Ferrari also lap down, trying to stay out of everyone's way at the moment. Reasonably good job, although he kind of cuts across the track there to stay out of everyone's way. Oh no.
Oh, he's nearly taken out Saxa and nearly come across Combat Rat, so he's going to be a bit careful that he doesn't actually take out anyone. Skins comes through as well. No, we haven't seen a lot of moving.
Kalios goes for a big dive on Skins, and Skins goes around at the chicane. I thought Kalios was very, very late on the brakes. And yeah, it didn't seem to leave the space for Skins, who plummets all the way down to 17th. He's basically the last car on the lead lap at the moment. So really disappointing there for the Williams driver. Mick out in the chat saying that Bully was actually racing the guys on the lead lap.
Oh, okay. That might just be coming down to a bit of desync then.
Maybe, or he was just ignoring the blue flags.
Well, nevertheless, we still have 4 laps to go, and Pepsi is back within DRS range, although we won't have DRS this lap. We have 1 more lap of no DRS running before it will get activated once again. See a car pull off into the pits. What looks like is...
Skins, Mr. Spicer.
Mr. Spicer. I nearly got that mixed up as well, don't worry.
Can't tell the dots, damn it.
It's too close to call, to be honest, those colours, but never mind. We have a very tight battle going on for P7, led by Psycho
Quantum
himself.
has picked up a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
Ooh, that is big.
So that'll promote Decelerate up to P2, and Mika
as well.
Maybe he's about 2.5 seconds behind Decelerate, so he's currently not in contention for a podium. But if he can just find another second or so, he'll definitely be up there on the steps.
Well, Mika's got some work to do if he wants that podium step, but nevertheless, he's still in good stead for some good points. Looking down the field, though, Psycho and King J going side by side through turn 9 on the run down to turn 10. Looks like Psycho will pull ahead as this race-long battle continues into the dying stages of this race. Getting so close to each other through turn 11, but nothing coming of it. Looks like he'll bide his time, King J, in that Haas. As these cars just kind of concertina through this last sector. Very hard to battle, but you can see some good battling, as we've seen throughout this night.
Absolutely. I think Psycho and King J have been basically battling non-stop all race long, so it's been great to see them be so respectful to each other while racing as hard as they are. So hats off to them. Providing us with a bit of entertainment in this race.
Yeah, it's what you love to see. Hard racing, fair racing. Yeah, doesn't get much better than that. Pepsi is well and truly within DRS range, Gus. It's all over Wingman, and this could come down to the wire. I don't think Pepsi does have that pace that we are so touting to have on Wingman, but nonetheless, he does have a chance to take P1 on track.
Got a 3-second penalty though, so
yeah,
I don't think he can get that kind of lead in the remaining 2.5 laps. But he's going to have a good look at the Red Bull. The Red Bull positions himself nicely in the middle of the road, trying to make it difficult for the Bro, but that's given him the long... Oh, he actually spun him! He spun him! He did not leave enough room. I thought he turned in a little bit early, and the Red Bull spins. Oh, there's been a massive collision as well. That's the Alfa Romeo's clashed into him. I think that Wingman is out. And no, he's still there. He's reversing off the racing line now, thankfully, but there's debris all over the show. So you see there, the Alfa Romeo parked there on the curb, the Red Bull trying to get out of it. And Wingman has retired.
With that incident, Pepsi might have just won the race. You can see Wingman just got onto that curb and that just understeered him into Pepsi. That sent him around. That caused that big collision. See, Mika's jumped himself up into P4 now, but I don't think he'll be able to hold on to it. Quantum Effect is right behind Undercat though.
And that was Decelerate. He was on for a very, very good podium result there. As Wingman, yeah, did retire on track there. That's pretty poor. But Decelerate, I'm absolutely shattered for him. He was on for a great result here. But Mika now in prime position. He's 6.1 seconds behind these leaders, but it looks like Pepsi may actually be on for the win here. But,
yeah, looks like it.
He's going to get into trouble, though, I think, for that incident. It looked like he did not leave enough space for Wingman. So I don't think this one's going to be settled once the checkered flag is shown.
Well, inquiries will be put forward and stewards will have some investigating to do, but nevertheless, we still have 2 laps to go. Quantum Effect getting all over the back of Undercat. They're weaving down this back straight. Undercat looking to the inside, Quantum Effect looking to the outside. Here they go, will we have a replay of what just happened in the lap prior? Undercat will back out of the corner. Quantum Effect will take P2. I think Undercat thought wiser with that 5-second penalty. I don't think he wanted a replay, but Vassar and Psycho now, side by side, into turn 8. He'll take the inside. Psycho's trying to hang it around the outside, and Vassar gives him the respect, and Psycho will hang on for P6. That's some great racing between the Alpha drivers.
We're still seeing Undercat and Quantum Effect are side by side through turn 11. And it looks like Quantum Effect has won that position.
Meanwhile, the dragon, we're going 3 wide into turn 11. Sorry to cut you off there, kind of Gus, but just had a 3 wide moment in turn 11. That nearly could have ended poorly. Bandcamp has jumped his way up into P8. He split Vassar and Saxter, who've had a race-long battle, as we've seen. Saxter going wide, kind of being pushed wide by Bandcamp, but nevertheless, Bandcamp got a great run through 13, on the run to 14, going down the inside of Vassar. He's got a move done. Bandcamp's getting his game on now. This is where Bandcamp comes into play. He's kept it clean all race, and now he's getting his groove on, Gus.
Yeah, unfortunately, McLaren teammate there, Nutt, has had a big spin as well just behind this group, and he is way down at P15 now, so unfortunately for them, but Bandcamp having a very, very good final couple of laps. He's all the way up to P7. Don't think he'll get any positions with these penalties. You see Saxa having a look at coming back at Vassar.
Yellow flag, second 3, that looks like Nutt.
I think Nutt and Spicer, both their tyres are pretty wrecked with the number of spins they've had. Having a look at Undercat and Quantum Effect still to and fro. Undercat pushing the Red Bull out of the chicane. They're going side by side as they all go into the run into turn 10. Aston Martin getting pushed right up onto the blue runoff there. They're still side by side through turn 10 and now into 11. The Red Bull's got the inside line though. He's going to run the Aston Martin out wide, but if he can hand it round, it doesn't lose it on the exit curbs here. He's got the inside line for the next corner and looks like he's sending it, and there's a bit of contact, and Nando's gone around. He's gone around. That looked like he just braked a little bit too late. He should stay in front of his teammate Mika here, but he does have a 5-second penalty, so this is going to put him way, way back down the order as Mika, King J, and Bandcamp are just within that 5-second range.
Bandcamp might not be able to go, but King J should be able to. Pepsi comes home to win in France, but a quest will win at that. Quantum Effect will take P2. Undercat's going to cross the line. He has that 5-second time penalty. Mika will jump him. Now we look down the order. King J will get P4. Undercat's falling down the order. Bandcamp going to cross the line now. He's in P6 with a great last lap drive. Vassar takes P7. Saxa P8. Psycho with a time penalty. He finishes P9. Keeper steals a point out of nowhere. Combat Rat just behind him finishes P11. His brother and teammate Skins in P12.
Now something
Nemo
happened
the
in that
LP.
final corner there. It looked like Nemo had a bit of a spin. I'm not sure if there was contact with a couple other cars. It looked like there was about 3 or 4 of them trying to go around the corner together. And Nemo coming off the worst for wear there. Ended up down in P13. I think that might have been the battle for either the final points paying position or P11. As you see Nut come across the line with Mr. Spicer. And my heart goes out to Decelerate down in P16. He was on for a podium there and got caught up in Apollo Pepsi and Wingman's incident.
I feel like I might have cursed him when I said he's had a quiet race. Not a bit good.
I think
Does go purple though.
Yeah, he set the fast lap, so he does take that away from anyone in the top 10, but I have a feeling that this might go on for a few days yet, with incidents going up tomorrow, no doubt.
No doubt indeed. Just wait on Bully to get around to the finish line. He has no front wing. He's on hard
I'm getting used to seeing the Ferrari look like that, to be honest.
Well, he's just winding down, a little bit of throttle, taking his time.
He's using
Carlos
Sainz's low downforce setup at Monza from yesterday.
Well,
look at that Ferrari 1-2 across the line.
Well, you're gonna have a bit of fun when you're down in P18, but
there was Apollo Pepsi coming across the line as well, so they'll no doubt at the Scuderia come up with some propaganda to share on their social media about that one.
Yeah, indeed. Keeper, driver of the day. But it's Pepsi who takes the spoils, at least in the short term. We'll see what pans out during the week and get back to you on that. But Pepsi is our race winner. He started from P2 and he finds his way into P1 after that incident with Wingman. Quantum Effect, Wingman's teammate, in P2 with Mika picking up P3 after Andocat had that 5-second time but with a spin in the pit lane. Incident with Quantum Effect sees him drop down to P5 with King J jumping Andocat the line. Bandcamp in P6 with an impressive dying stage drive with Vasa in P7, Saxa and Psycho in P8 and 9. They provided some good entertainment in those final 5 laps, with Keeper rounding off our points in P10. Combo and Skins along with Nemo, Kalios, Nut, Decelerate, Mr. Spicer and Bully all finished outside the points, with Wingman and Anarchy not finishing in this race.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like in the middle we were getting a little bit of, I don't know, a bit of a DRS training and not much happening, and then the race just seemed to come alive. I mean, obviously we had a bit of an issue with the lobby as well that added to the insanity, but a pretty good race in the end. But yeah, definitely some controversy there with how the results settled, so I'm sure we haven't heard the last from that one. Well, thank you so much, Seb, for joining me for Tier 2. I'll probably be back next week. I think Mikhail's got next week off as well. So,
yep,
see you back then. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this evening. We will hopefully have some finalisation of the results over the next couple of days. We obviously don't want to call it just yet. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back on Friday night for the F2 series. We'll be back next Sunday as well from 5:30 PM Melbourne time for Tier 3, 7 PM Melbourne time for Tier 1, and then 8:30 PM Melbourne time for Tier 2 as well. And I believe we're at Austria, so I think probably driver favourite track. We usually see a little bit of action there, so it could be a good one to watch as well. So make sure you do give us a follow and tune in for that one. Anyway, I've been Gus Rules, this has been Seb. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.